If you guys remember, we did a pie video last year that was an apple pie with this lady right here who happens to be my mom. You guys thought she was hot, so we brought her back for another one. Hashtag hot mom. What's up guys, I'm Noah Galuten. We are back in our kitchen we're using to cook food. Here today with my mom. You might have remembered perhaps about a year ago, we did an apple pie video together. It was a huge hit. It was way more successful than any of my videos that I do. So today we're having her back on to do a little brown sugar pumpkin pie. It's like a pumpkin pie, but I just say pumpkin because I think it's better. Hi Mom.
Hey Noah. She's
my mom.
So you might remember from last year's video that we actually made the pie crust in the food processor. And what you can do is click over on Noah's face and you can see the link to that video, and maybe you want to make the apple pie and the pumpkin pie, but you can definitely get the recipe and the instructions for the crust. So now we have our crust all ready to go, so we're just going to roll it out. And you remember you want to start from the center, very easy, and just roll out from the center. And I turn it a little bit, and you also remember stuff like this, not a problem. You get something like that, you just want to keep working. Pie crust is really forgiving.
It looks pretty good so far. It looks like a map of France.
Okay, so we have our dough all rolled out.
It looks good.
Yeah, you can see.
Now what?
And now I'm going to just loosen it, get it off your cutting board, or this is a nice piece of marble. And then just put it over here, fit it in there. So all I'm going to do is roll this.
Kind of crimping it a little bit?
Yeah, just crimping it a little bit, giving it a nice base.
What makes your pumpkin pie better than regular pumpkin pie?
Well, first of all, I use fresh cream in mine. And a lot of people use
old ass cream, and that's a terrible idea.
Well, they use that canned evaporated milk.
Oh, screw that.
And a lot of people love that.
I was gonna say that, but my mom's here, so I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, please don't. Autumn flavor. See? Not perfect.
It looks perfecter than I can do it.
Okay.
Sometimes when my mom makes pies, she puts little fancy leaves around it, and they look great. I don't know how to do that though, because I don't make fancy leaves. So I don't know. What do we do?
Well, it's actually really easy.
Sounds fancy.
It looks impressive, actually, I think, but it's so easy. So I'm going to show you how to do it.
It's like me. I look impressive, but I'm actually really easy.
So really, you just take a little knife, cut it like that, and then I put a little slit down here. You know, I don't want to go all the way through, obviously. And look, it's a leaf. So, and it just takes, it takes maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes to do this. And then I'll show you how to attach it, and it looks really nice.
Fancy.
Okay, so we have our pie crust all rolled out, and you can see the leaves. And so what I do is take a pastry brush, don't make fun, and just put a little water on this. I do. He makes it funny. And then I put them kind of diagonally like that, and that's it. Just tap it down there. Take another one. Of course, you're putting water on the side that's not scored.
I would do it myself, but I'm not good at this.
And I put it you overlap just a little bit, and I think it gives it a really pretty edge. The other thing about pumpkin pie that's great, Thanksgiving, make this pie the night before, and then you put it in the fridge, it's better cold, and then you're done. So you can spend a little time Wednesday, you're not stressed out.
That way on Thanksgiving you can just be super wasted.
No,
nobody will know.
Don't do that. So
we do that every year. What are you talking about? I feel like I cheated in my life because I grew up eating this kind of stuff, and then I went to other people's houses and other girlfriends and whatever, and then I was like, oh, everyone else's life is not as good as what I grew up with. So now I kind of hate dessert because I grew up eating really, really awesome versions. So unless I have basically my mom's pie, I feel like the pie sucks.
Okay, that just made my Thanksgiving. So now you've got your crust all ready. We're going to pop this in the fridge because you remember from the other pie video that the key to pie crust is make it cold and bake it hot. So you want this to be really cold when you put it in the oven.
Well, we put our pie crust in the fridge, and now I have no idea what to do.
Okay. This is so easy.
I'm already confused.
You're not going to believe it.
I don't understand.
So here we have, this is canned pumpkin, 15 ounces of pumpkin. You can make your own pumpkin puree. It's very easy, but you know what? This is really good too. So, pumpkin puree.
And way less bougie.
In here. And then we're gonna go with 3 eggs. So we're gonna take, and I like to do the eggs in a separate bowl because you just never know, even though it can happen, you don't want to put some eggshell in there and then you're gonna be digging it out. So crack your eggs.
I don't even think I'm doing anything in this entire cooking session. I think I'm just standing here.
Lightly beat these.
Hey, it reminds me of my childhood. She would lightly beat me.
It's not true.
Lightly beat me.
Wow.
Not too serious.
We've got our eggs, so we're gonna just put those right in here. And now we need a half a cup of heavy cream.
Where are we gonna find that?
While we're at this segment, I just want to say, because some people don't know, these measuring cups are what you should use for dry ingredients. And this is what you should use for wet ingredients. Sometimes people try to jam their, brown sugar or their flour or whatever in here. And it's really much better if you do this. It's just makes a better measurement. It makes it more accurate. And baking is science.
Are you done whisking?
Yes. So this is a half cup of dark brown sugar. And you want it to be packed. So when I say packed, I mean packed. You want it to you really want to get in there and make sure it's a full half cup.
Can I try?
Actually, I probably should have a fork here, but there we go. Okay, half a
can't
cup
do anything.
of dark brown. Okay, Noah, you can do the spices. We need
No,
a half
never
a cup
mind.
of
No,
allspice.
you're doing
Come
great.
on.
No, I don't want to do anything. I'll make tomato sauce or something later.
This is how he was, such a brat. Half a teaspoon of allspice.
So now I'm going to put in all the spices.
So
All the spices.
half a teaspoon of allspice.
Of
Okay,
all
I
the
get this,
spices
I get
in the
joke.
world.
Allspice is actually a mixture of cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And again, you really want it to be even. So
Do you want to do it?
I guess so.
See? I can't.
So what I do,
What I do.
and then you just even it off there. So there's a half a teaspoon of allspice, and then we want to have a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
Now our cinnamon's going to taste like allspice.
No, it's not. Like cinnamon. And we want a half a teaspoon of ginger. So just because Noah's worried about it, clean it out a little bit.
No, whatever. It's your spices. Brought these from home. We can't afford it on the show.
Okay.
We don't have a ginger budget here.
Would you like to do a half a teaspoon of salt for me, please?
Way to come up with all these really creative measurements. They're all the same amount of food.
So that makes it really easy. Told you this was easy.
To do okay?
That looks great.
All I want is her approval, and I don't get anything.
Now the last thing we're going to do is put in a half a cup of heavy cream.
All right, can I do that part?
Please. So I like this so much better than, like I said, the evaporated milk, which has a lot of sugar.
Now what?
That already smells like amazing. It really smells great.
It's all right.
Okay, so now why don't
it
you
smells
whisk
good.
this? We're going to just blend it until it's
Did
well
you know
blended.
that one time I gave myself rotator cuff tendonitis by making mayonnaise with a whisk?
Oh no, I bet you could. So you just want to get that well blended.
Should I be splashing it all over the place? Oh, this smells like pumpkin pie
Doesn't
already.
it smell great? So how easy is that?
Honestly, this smells like, I feel like it's Thanksgiving in my childhood.
It smells
all right.
amazing.
You know, on the show we've done a lot of things where like we eat food that's flavored like pumpkin pie. Well, here's the thing that's way better than that is actual f***ing pumpkin pie. Because here's the thing about pumpkin pie is it's great. You know what's not great? Putting it inside of a Oreo cream and then covering it in a f***ing latte or something.
Or buying pumpkin pie filling that already has all the spices. It's not going to smell like this. It's not going to taste like this.
It tastes like
That's
laziness and misery.
Okay, so now you want to get the prepared shell that we have in the...
Do I want to?
Yes.
Or
please.
will I?
Would you please?
I will.
Okay, good boy. So we have our chilled pie crust. We've done our beautiful leaves. That only took us about 5 minutes. And now we're going to just fill this and bake it. It doesn't get any easier than that. So there we go. Pour it in.
So it's pretty much the eggs that make it kind of stiffen up, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I cook food for a living.
He does. He's very good.
She doesn't know.
And
never done
now,
a restaurant.
then you can just shake it a little bit, tap it. I don't know if it really takes the air bubbles out, but that's what I do.
Remember, you're shaking this differently than you would a Polaroid picture.
So now we have it filled, very easy, and we're going to pop this in an oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees.
Fahrenheit. All right, so the pie's in the oven. So now what? We do shots, or what happens now?
Well, the pie needs to bake for 50 to 55 minutes.
So that's like 50 shots we can do.
No, I'm not going to do that, but you can put the knife in about 2 inches from the rim,
What
from
does
the
that
edge,
do?
and you put it in and just want it to come out clean.
And then what?
And then you'll know that it's finished. It's all
All right.
ready to go. And that's it. You've got a beautiful pumpkin pie.
Sounds reasonable. Let's see how this guy looks over here. Came out clean. Maybe we got pie.
So once you've taken it out of the oven, you want to put it on a trivet, a pie rack. You want to get some air circulating under it. Let it completely cool, and you can enjoy it at room temperature, or you can put it in the fridge if you're going to have it several hours later or the next day. And you've got a great homemade pumpkin pie.
Well, that's it. We did it. We made my mom's brown sugar pumpkin pie, and by we, I mean she did everything, and I stood around a bunch. But let us know in the comment section if you want to try out making this pie, or maybe even make the apple pie from last year. Hit the thumbs up, do all that good stuff. Maybe even subscribe to Taste It. I hear that's the cool thing kids are doing these days. Say subscribe to Taste It.
Subscribe to Taste It.
Even my mom says subscribe to Taste It.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.